Hey there, everybody. It's your girl, Barbie J here with the recap and review of Tyler Perry's comedy drama, The Oval, Season 5, Episode 9, Better Than Revenge. And of course, we all know it is the 100th episode. This is The Oval's 100th episode today. So check out my videos on my page where I told you they sent me a top secret presidential briefcase from BET. I think you'll like all the little items and gadgets that they sent me that are also inside of the briefcase. And enjoy. Your girl Barbie J is ecstatic to even be chosen, and I am honored. I'm telling you that they thought of me with the work that I've been doing on this channel and supporting Tyler Perry, that I got noticed. And that's what I'm most appreciative of, especially the support that I get from you guys out there. Because if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be who I am. Anyway, let's get on with this recap review. It starts off with, what's the name? Kareem getting shot, but he's not really shot. They told him to get up off the floor. Hunter told him, "Who is your cousin? I'm telling you, the next time it's going to hit you, let me know his name right now." So he gave up Antonio Hill's name. He said, "Where does Antonio stay?" He said, "I don't know. He moves around a lot." So they tried calling him, but he didn't answer. Then it flipped over to Max and Bobby in the White House, and they're talking. I'm not crazy about their scenes. Y'all know that. But the guy agent comes down. He's one of Donald's boys, and they ask him, what's going on up there. He doesn't want to tell them. He said the president's just shooting around. So he doesn't want to tell them. And Bobby gets mad because Bobby said he doesn't like the dude. And Max just holds him back and says, "Look, we got to get these people out of office, whoever these scumbags are." And he's letting Bobby know that the vice president and the first lady are messing around. Bobby's finding it too hard to believe, but he said, "We've been over it. That's what's going on." So they're going to assess and see what they can do. They're trying to find Jason because they think Jason is the answer to all of this stuff that can be solved or some kind of way. I don't know, but that's what their thought process is. So back over to Hunter's bedroom where they have Kareem. And of course, Antonio's not answering, and Hunter wants to know why Kareem is shaking. You just tried to kill him. Hello? You got him handcuffed. You calling him weak. You're calling him a wuss. You're calling him all this stuff. But ain't none of y'all handcuffed with somebody pointing a gun at you. So what do you expect him to do? And so Hunter tells Alonzo to take him down to the bunker and give him a drink or something like that, because he can't blow this. This is his responsibility. It happened in his pharmacy, and I need to talk to Antonio. And so Kareem said he'll figure something out. He said, "No, you'll just wait down in the bunker." And I don't like how Alonzo think he's all tough now. He's pushing him around and everything like that, when that was just him like 10 minutes ago, a wuss. He was the wuss about 10 minutes ago. Anyway, now it flips to the kitchen with Richard and Priscilla. And Richard came in and said that they're shooting up there. And Priscilla said she heard the gunshots. And she's like, "We got to do something." And she said, "Who's he shooting at?" She's asking him all these questions, but Richard doesn't know. And she said, "What are we going to do? We got to do something." He said, "I'm thinking. I got to figure it out." And Priscilla said, "I'm tired of your measured thinking." And Richard told her, "I'm tired of your emotional thinking." I said, "Uh-oh." She's like, "Are you saying that because I'm a woman?" So, of course, he said no, but Priscilla looked at him and said, "Yeah, that's what it is." But then she's still asking these stupid questions. Are there holes in the walls? Is this? He's like, "I don't know. You want to go in there and check?" She's like, "You trying to be cute?" He's like, "No." But she's trying to be stupid. What he's supposed to do, go in there and say, "I want to check for holes in the walls in the president's bedroom"? Come on, Priscilla. So then Richard apologizes. He's like, this is also stressful. He don't know where Barry is. He told her that cult member told him that Barry was dead, but he don't believe it. He told Priscilla about the body in the morgue that wasn't Barry. And Priscilla's like, "You don't believe it?" And then she said, "Did you call Nancy?" Dumb. Come on, Priscilla. He said, "I'm not going to call her. You call her if you want to care. You call her." Richard should have said, "Are you going to call your Sam?" That's what Richard should have said. He should have came back at her. So anyway, Richard was like, "I'm going downstairs." She's telling him, "Don't go near that bedroom." I'm like, you the one who was asking all the questions, wanting him to find out. Like he gonna go in there. Anyway, she said she would call Nancy and check on his wife for him. And he said, "Yeah, thank you, if you don't mind." So Priscilla calls Nancy, and Nancy's like, why isn't Richard answering my phone calls? And she's like, is everything okay? And she said, yes, everything is fine. Is he mad at me? Priscilla's like, I don't know. Did I do something wrong? I don't know. That's like Nancy. Priscilla just kept saying, I don't know. And then she said, he is. Something's wrong, And then she said, well, and she said, well, what? Could somebody please tell me what I did wrong? And Priscilla told Nancy everything she said about the affair with her father and not wanting to end it, but he wanted to end it and you wanted to keep on. She's like, I said that? Why would I say that? And Priscilla said, is it true? And Nancy just kept ignoring her, saying, I can't believe I said that. Why did I say? She was like, but is it true? And she finally admitted, said, yes, it was true. And Priscilla's like, oh, snap. Like, I can't believe this. But that's what happened. So now Nancy wants to come to the White House. She wants to come to the White House. And Priscilla's telling her, no, it's not a good time. But Nancy's like, she's adamant that she's still coming. Anyhow. Now we're in the Oval Office with Victoria, Eli, and Simone. And, all the back and forth with Simone having to kiss Victoria's behind, which I do not like. Y'all know I do not like it. And Eli standing there all smug and like, And they're like, and now can we move forward? And she's like, yes, we can. And, Simone is like, yes, Victoria's so generous. She accepted my apologies. And can I apologize? And Victoria's like, doesn't your husband look so good in the Oval? And she said, oh, yes. She said, almost as good as my husband. She said, oh, no, she can't look better than Hunter. And Victoria looked at her like, now you're laying it on thick. Girl, she been laying it on thick. She said, please, that's enough. Because Simone kept apologizing and stuff, being really like kissing butt, because that's probably what Eli is expecting from her. But then Max comes in and he's like, we got to move you, sir. We got to move quick. He's like, what's going on? He's like, this is the second time we heard gunshots from the president's bedroom. And they were like, what? Yeah, we're told that he's doing target practice. Victoria said, the MF is doing what? He said, the MF is doing target practice. She's like, what did you say? He said, I'm just repeating what you said. So he said, we got to get you to move. We got to move you, sir. As soon as Victoria left, he said, oh, sir, we're going to keep you put here. And so he leaves out and Simone says, and that's our president. And Eli's like, yeah, right. So now we over at Alan's apartment with him and Dale, and Kyle comes in. He wants to know what's going on here. I thought I heard voices, and they're like, nothing's going on here. He said, well, something must be going on. And he's like, no, I just got to get dressed. Can you give me a minute to get dressed? He said, do you know who you're talking to? You got, watch your tone. He said, you made it very clear who you are. And I'm talking to you now. If you give me some privacy and let me get dressed, it'll be fine. He was like, oh, you need privacy? He said, yes, I need privacy. And he's looking at Dale, talking about he wants to know what's going on. Dale said, when he said he don't like it, Dale said, then if you don't like it, then go. Dale ain't scared of him, and neither is Alan right now. They're just about tired of him. So Kyle leaves, and Alan goes to get ready as Dale just stands there with a smirk on his face. Now it's back to the Oval with Eli and Simone. And basically she's like, I'm going home now. And he's like, okay, She's saying, are we good? She's asking him, are we good? And he's like, yeah, we good. It's just that this is a lot going on and stuff right now. And he's like, when all these things blow over, I'm going to take you away so we could spend a lot of good time together. And she said, okay, I love you. And he said, yeah, me too. Yeah, me too? Meaning you love your damn self? Or do you love her? Because if you love her, you say, I love you. You don't say me too. Okay? But a woman knows. She knows something ain't up and something ain't right with him. He full of ish. Talking about he concerned that Hunter, that a-hole haven't been doing nothing all this time, and I got another meeting right now and I'm so busy and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, Simone just walked out and left. Then they show the hallway where Bobby's leaving with Simone. And Eli comes out and he's looking at Max, asking Max, did he need some sleep or something? Max like, I'm good. He said, no, you could go ahead. We got other agents. He said, I'm president now. You don't have to worry. And Max is like, you sure? He said, yeah, I'm sure. He said, have you seen Sam lately? He said, no. Was he off today? He said, I don't know, sir. He said, let him know I'm looking for him. He said, okay, sir. And then he radios to Bobby, Big Papa, stay alert. Now we got Victoria coming into the bedroom asking Hunter what the HE double hockey sticks is wrong with him. And he's like, what do you mean? She's like, are you shooting at people? He said, what if I am? She want to know, who are you shooting at? He said, what matter does it make? You know, who cares? Or something. She's like, this is the White House. You can't be shooting, having Secret Service running around in here and stuff. He said, well, you know what? I can have them running. You give me that gun again and you stand right there and I'll shoot and they'll come running. She's like, whatever, Hunter. You know, you can't be doing that. She's like, haven't you learned anything? You almost died. You can't even get out of bed. Haven't you learned anything? He said, yeah, I learned one thing. I learned that somebody in here is trying to kill me, and I think you had something to do with it. Was it you? Was it you? He said, I know you have something to do with it. She's like, yeah, whatever. You know, trying to ignore him. He said, when I get out of this bed, I'm going to find out who the MFO who did this to me, and I'm going to kill him. She said, yeah, okay. So now we see Priscilla walking down the hall, going into that kitchen area. And like I told y'all, Simone was behind her, but I didn't realize that Bobby was with her as well. So Simone tells Bobby to wait out in the hallway, and she goes in the kitchen area and with Priscilla, and she looks at her and says, I'm sorry, and hugs her. And Priscilla's like, ma'am, like what? She said, she let her know. She said, I know how you feel. And she said, what do you mean? The first lady sleeping with your husband. And she said, I know how you feel. She said, how do you know how I feel? She said, because I believe he's sleeping with mine. And she said, you do? She said, yeah, I heard Eli on the phone talking to her. But then he lied and she lied. So she said, we got to find a way to get that biatch. I said, oh, snap. I told y'all in my when I gave my 2 cents, I'm hoping those two are going to team up to get that daggone Victoria and get that biatch. So she's like, I'm hoping I could trust you. She said, because you don't know how bad I want to get her. And one of them was saying, I think I want her more than you want to get her, or more than the other one, or whatever it was. But Priscilla did hug her after she said that she was sleeping with her husband as well. And she said, I'm so sorry. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. And so Victoria said, can I trust you? Priscilla said, yes. She said, can we meet somewhere outside of here? She said, well, where do you want to meet? And she said, at my house. So she's going to meet her. Priscilla's going to meet Simone at her house, and they discuss later. But then Bobby opens the door. He must have been listening to the door. I don't know how he knew to open it then. And then the second lady walks out, and he looks at Priscilla, and Priscilla just looks at him, and he closes the door. And Priscilla's like, her brain is going like, wow, I can't believe this. So now we have Victoria calling Donald, wanting to know where he is. How come he's not here at the White House? He said, well, because your boyfriend doesn't want me there. She said, what? Your boyfriend, the vice president? She said, what are you talking about? He said, oh, ma'am, I know. She said, you know nothing. He's like, no, I do know. And he doesn't want me there. She said, this MF is shooting people. And she never said it was Hunter. She just said he's shooting at people. And he said, he's what? He said, yeah, he needs to be babysat. She said, he's shooting at people and I need you here. So I'll talk to him. Don't worry. I'll talk to the vice president. He said, oh, now you talk to him. Now you good, ready to talk to him? She's like, oh, please, just come on in. He said, no, just make sure first. She said, I need you here. He's like, okay. Then she asked him, had he found Jason or heard anything about him? And he said, no. And she's like, you know, that's not what I want to hear. He said, I know. So he said, we'll find him. She's like, just get your ass up in here. He's like, okay, ma'am, I'm on my way. So now we have Bobby arriving with Simone to the vice president's residence, I guess. What do you call it? Anyway, you know, and then he gets a call from Max letting him know that he's there with Sam. And Bobby's like, why are you there? He said, because Eli doesn't want them around. He said, okay. He said, stay alert. So he puts the phone away. Simone wants to know, was that call about Eli? And Bobby's telling her no. And she's like, yes, it does. Don't give me the BS. I know he is. And he's like, no, it wasn't about him. And she says, you could lie better than that. And he's like, I'm not lying, ma'am. And he kept saying, sorry, ma'am, for everything. And she was like, you going to tell me you don't want me? What's it going to take for you to give me the information I need? And he's like, ma'am, and sorry, ma'am. And she's touching his lapel, and he's like, ma'am. And he kept turning away, like turning his head away, because he's a man. He probably was, you know, looking at her, you know. But he said, you know, she taunts Priscilla, talking about the first lady. And he's like, she does? She said, yeah, because she slept with her husband. She said, so she's telling him, that he's having an affair with the first lady, but you're not telling me and stuff. He's like, no, ma'am, I don't know that. So she tells him, don't worry, we're not going to sleep together because you're not even my type. I'm still in love with my husband. He's like, sorry, ma'am, or something like that. Anyway, then it switches over to Max showing up to that trailer, wherever that trailer is parked that Sam has, and he's seeing the guy who Sam caught, and Max is saying, yeah, I've seen him before. He said, did you try waterboarding him? He said, yeah. He said, you tried the pliers? He said, yeah. He's holding strong. He's not trying to do anything. He said, well, we have the drill. He said, Sam said, yeah, that might work or something like that. And he lets him know that he followed the tracks, and that's how he came upon that compound. And that's why I don't know how Max said he's seen him before. He said he held a gun on me. He said, really? He had a gun on you? He said, you're a federal officer. He said, yeah. That's what Sam is saying, yeah. And Max looked at the guy and said, that's a long jail time. But the guy's just looking at them like, whatever. So when Max tries to threaten him with the drill, the guy starts talking, saying he's not afraid of him. And when he's talking, his blood all in his mouth and stuff. His teeth are all jacked up and red. I don't know what happened to his mouth. I'm just saying, it looked gory to me. So Max is telling him, well, the amount of pain that I'm going to inflict on you, maybe that might change your mind. He said, I don't care. Bring it. I have died for the Raku. And he said, y'all are the evil government. That's who y'all are. And Max told him, just relax. We just want to know where the kid is. We're not here to try to hurt you. And he said, he's not there. That's what Sam told him. He said, I saw tracks leaving. I followed them and surveilled the area for about an hour or so. So he's gone. He said, really? So now Max just want to, have some fun and release some stress. And Sam told him to have at it because he has to get to the White House. And it's so funny because Max never told him what Eli said, that he wants to see him. As far as I know, he didn't, but maybe he did. And so Max took off his jacket and started punching him. The guy's like, I'm not afraid of you. What was that? And then Max punched him a couple of times more. And the homeboy was laid out to my, yeah, like he want to talk now. He said, oh, you want to talk now? And Max proceeded to kick in his butt. He had him on the ground, kicking him and everything. The guy wanted to talk, and Max said, I don't even want to talk now anymore. And he just kept punching him and kicking him and everything. And the kid is like laid out now on the floor. Now we're at Donald's house, and they bring the guy in with the military gear on. And of course, I was right on that one too. It was that police officer. They found him. And these are two agents we haven't seen before. And they bring him in there. And he asks, is he cuffed and bound? And they say yes. And they say, good. So he tells them to wait outside. And the guy is on his knees. The police officer, they took the hood off the head. So you saw who he was. And Donald says, so you wanted me dead, huh? And he's like, mother effer, something like that. He said to him, he said, oh, you still got attitude, huh? Oh, no, he said, F you. That's what he said. He still got attitude. He's like, yeah, you ruined my life. He said, nah, I told you to leave it alone, but you didn't want to leave it alone. He said, yeah, whatever. If you took everything from me, you might as well take my life. I don't care. I'm not afraid. And so Donald threatened that he's going to hurt him tooth by tooth or whatever. He called the agents back in, told them to put the guy on ice for him and that not to let his wife leave. So we don't know where Lily is, but he said, don't let her leave. And they like, okay. And he said, step back. And he did a golf swing and hit the guy. And they all looking kind of smiling or whatever. And he said, oh, I got to work on my golf swing. I said, oh, this is so ridiculous. And now it ends with Victoria getting a phone call from Jason. And he's like, it's me. She's like, who's me? Your son. This is my son. He said, don't start with me, Mom, with that BS and stuff, So she's like, let me send some. Where are you? He said, don't worry where I'm at. And she said, let me send somebody to come get you. He said, no, I just need you to know something, that what I'm about to do is going to ruin you and Dad. I'm going to tell it all. So she's telling him he need to be careful because he did kill somebody. He said, and we'll all burn and go down together or whatever. And she said, Jason, where are you living? He said, I'm living in your head. I thought that was funny. I don't know why. He said, I think I'm living in your head. Poor Victoria's like, oh my God, he's a nutcase. Anyhow, he said, you're going down, Ma. And she was like, Jason, and he went click and hung up. And she's like, shit. Anyhow, that's the way the episode ended. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode. It was okay for the 100th episode. I wish it was a little bit better. Anywho, it's your girl Barbie J saying happy holidays, season's greetings, and I'll see you all in the next video. And don't forget to check out my video with the presidential suitcase that I received from BET. All right, and don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Subscribe to this channel, like the video, write a comment, and share, because sharing is caring. It's your girl Barbie J saying peace.